Hey people, Infantry here, 1v1, Green Tooth Gorge, blue side. It's Sergeant Smith with an Eversor Assassin, a risk-reward melee brawler that explodes on death. Up against, it's a big fella, Lokyo's Chaos Lord, a durable and destructive hero walking through objects and cannot be suppressed with powerful offense and disruption fighting in melee, the World Eater's elite scheme. So they both have like skull situations going on. Yeah, maybe they're fighting over the right to use the skull. I think the Chaos Lord wins the Grim Dark contest though, because he does have the cloak of skin going on. Eversor might be able to take him out. We'll see. Get that Neuro Gauntlet up or something. Strike Squad is up. Lokyo took a while to get their Chaos Space Marines rolling, but they have rolled out. Looks like the Eversor is on the prowl for a fight early. Looking for some heretics probably, but might run into the CSM. Chaos Lord is giving chase. Gonna break stuff. This is cover on their own side. They shouldn't be breaking this if they can help it, but they broke all the trees. These guys can duck into the garrison. I don't think the Eversor got a hit there. Eversor starts with a 40 DPS melee weapon. He's very close to the starting loadout of the Force Commander. I believe he's got slightly more, very slightly more DPS, like 0.3 more DPS, but he attacks quicker for less damage per hit than the Force Commander. I think this guy is 44 damage per hit and 40 DPS, and the Force Commander is like 51 damage per hit and 39 point something DPS. What's going on west side? Strike Squad versus Heretics. Easy fight for the Strike Squad. This is, I think, a dubious use of your Heretics to force off the Eversor like that. I mean, you have forced him off, you've lost a bunch of Heretics doing it. Even tried to Doom Blast him and stuff. I don't think that was helpful. I believe Lokyo used a Doom Blast on like thin air as well before that fight started, because I heard a Doom Blast and those guys had 7 models, I noticed, as they ran in. So maybe they were trying to Doom Blast the other Heretics and they had the wrong squad selected or something. But yeah, not the cleanest start for Lokyo. But they got their points, they got their naturals. These guys can run around and try and cap stuff. Need to be very careful though not to run into the Stormtroopers here. Those bursty hotshot las guns will hurt them pretty bad. Here we go. 2 of them, well, a truncated burst. 1 of them is firing right now. Nope, says Sergeant Smith. Yep. Did they bash a gen? I don't think so. I think that's the remains of a Doom Blasted Heretic. These guys now with an aspiring champion gives them more health, and the aspiring champion himself is a decent fighter, so it really beefs them up in melee capability. They will give the Strike Squad a decent fight now. Probably depends on how many shots the Strike Squad can get in as they approach, and if they get a special attack. Heretics now running after the Stormtroopers here. Maybe we'll see some sergeants on these guys for grenades, because these guys are also melee. Oh, Eversor, I was going to say, are we going to see Purgation? But looks like Sergeant Smith is spending on war gear. Sinskin body glove, more health regen, and makes the Psychon, less painful to use. Only 50 health spent, and it gives you a little bit more duration on it. There it is. 30% more damage, 30% more resistance to damage. For the duration, we have the Chem Cloud grenades, which suppress on landing and really debuff a melee unit stuck in them. Well, it's 50% less damage and 10 less melee skill, which is basically a death sentence in a melee fight. Got to just move out of it, I suppose. It's good area denial. Lokyo with Noise Marines on the way. They could do some real good work here, because Cacophony will mess with the Eversor, but it won't mess with the Chaos Lord. It won't knock him over. Found some CSM now. These guys don't have their Eternal War. There's a burst of Corn Worship though. Helped them get out of trouble. That was nicely done. Heretics going in. Aspiring Champion comes in, so it's double Aspiring Champion Heretics now for Lokyo. Definitely going to need to use those Chem Cloud grenades nicely. That was another Doom Blast on the Eversor. There we see the suppression effect from the Chem Cloud grenades. Are we going to see Eternal War? I think we'll see Eternal War before they go tier 2. That'll probably be all though, with 2 Aspiring Champions purchased, Eternal War and Noise Marines. No war gear for the Chaos Lord. Eversor's got a fair amount of XP just killing Heretics so far. They're going to get at least a couple of gens here, I think, with the Noise Marines. The Sonic Blaster can shake apart structures, as you can see. Good AoE damage, and it disables ranged weaponry. You have to get relatively close to use it, like using a flamer. Sergeant is up on these guys. So Heretics will need to watch out for that as they approach. They did get 2 gens. There's a Cacophony knocking down the Eversor. And they'll just probably retreat with this. A grenade goes in. Eversor pops the Psychon to help them approach, I suppose. There was the energy burst on the Chaos Space Marines. That's some nice synergy. Throw out the energy burst, slows things down. Eversor gets in and gets those hits. 382 to 470 on the VPs very early on. Both players thinking about their tier 2s. Will Sergeant Smith go straight to Rhino, or are they going to get something else out in tier 1? They're taking their time if they are. Yep, they're going tier 2. So the Rhino should come out in decent time with not a lot Lokyo can do about it for early parts. They could try and get some Plague Marines up, I suppose, as fast as they can. Doom Blast, a little bit early, but did get both of the squads. You want to try and use it when you're fully ensconced in melee if you can, to try to guarantee that all enemy units are hit by it, because hopefully the Heretic that blows up will be close enough. Doesn't want to take that fight. That would have been a really bad fight for those guys. And we do have Eternal War up for the Chaos Space Marines. Was it worth delaying tier 2 a bit to get that? Probably. It's only 15 power, right? What is this? Stormtroopers were chased into the garrison by the Chaos Lord, who's just been like chasing stuff around and capping at the moment, I think. Not sure if he's been able to get stuck into a fight. Straight onto the power is Lokyo. Heretics can get the VP potentially. Going to get at least 1 generator here, I think. Eversor can try and toss the Chem Cloud to suppress and get in there. There's also the energy burst available. Also Banishment can be quite nasty for Heretics if they bunch up. This might be a good situation for it here. There's Cacophony. Oh no, Strat Squad are getting close. Some kind of shot blocking issue with this big plant thing, maybe? Maybe. Heretics getting in there. Grenade. Suppresses them. Debuffing them. But they still forced off the Stormtroopers. Looks like that's hypermetabolism up for the Eversor, I think. Yeah, kept him alive there. That's one of his globals. It's only 75 red. Gives him health and energy regen. And I think it, doesn't it like lower his cooldowns? Maybe I'm making it up. Definitely gives him health and energy regen. And then at the end of it, he is vulnerable for 10 seconds. That was that marker you saw him at the end. I think it's 30% less damage resist when he's vulnerable. Chaos Lord misses the special. Stormtroopers can take the garrison and be relatively safe here. Could just stand there and shoot them forever, but I don't think that would be super efficient use of his time. There's the Rhino. I think the Pinto-mounted Stormbolter is 25 DPS. Combined with the Twin Linked Heavy Bolter is actually some pretty damn good anti-infantry damage. Those guys losing some models to get the cap, I think is worth it. Well worth it there. Eversor's halfway through level 2. Getting some XP for these dying Heretic because he must have damaged them at some point. Chaos Lord almost halfway through level 1. Does get the tier 2 going. I wonder if they've already purchased something here. 316 to 444. Single cap for Lokyo. They had a decent start, but now this Rhino timing might really hurt them. Might get a full bash here. Those Marines are in. Look at that damage they can deliver to the Strat Squad with the help of the CSM. Not much they can do about the Rhino though. Might drop a couple of gens at least. Eversor capping the mid. And Stormtroopers down the east side. Did the Rhino level? Oh, the Strat Squad inside of it leveled, I think. Eversor. Oh, one for the Neuro Gauntlet. 80 power melee DPS, disables range special attacks. So it's all about raw DPS output. Doesn't waste time with these special attack animations. A couple of Doom Blast to help control them. There's hypermetabolism again, and there's Drain Life. Should be able to get away safely with the hypermetabolism, I think. Yeah, there it is. And we're going to see the vulnerable state in a second. Like that. 309 to 372. Triple cap here for Sergeant Smith. Has made the Rhino have an impact so far. We do have Plague Marines on the field though. These guys with a snaring missile launcher. Although they are very slow themselves, they can struggle to get those shots in. Rhino is kept moving here by Sergeant Smith. Note that the Storm Bolter on front can't turn. I think it can only turn like 90 degrees maybe in a forward arc. So to get maximum DPS, you need to try to face it forward to the target. I think that Strat Squad fella survived. Yeah, he's alright. Plague Marines trying to get a shot on. Can't quite manage it. Got another gen up here for Lokyo. Some idle heretics. Will they realize in time? They do. And they get away. CSM capping mid. Eversor chucks the Chem Cloud. There's that suppression. Goes after him. I believe the pistol is the same with all of his weapons. It's that 1605 DPS one that the Force Commander has and a bunch of other heroes have. Only way to get him a better ranged weapon is to get that, get his actual gun, innit? What's it called? Executioner pistol? I think so. Doom Blast and a run. Lots of Doom Blasts on the Eversor. Level 4 though, this guy. Chaos Lord still level 1, yeah, still level 1. Oh, he's got Lightning Claws of his own. 100 DPS. Doesn't get a sidearm though. And the Mantle of Fate, of course, as we've seen. Can they get some damage on the Rhino here? Make it back off quickly. There's some Corn Worship. Help solve the Plague Marine's poor speed. +2 there. Terminator Librarian now for Sergeant Smith. Are they going to pop their slaughter, these Chaos Space Marines? There's Sanctuary. Even knocks back the Chaos Lord, look. Good special. Really good knockback strength on that special. Plague Marines blowing up and healing stuff. Slaughter is popped on the Chaos Space Marines and they've drawn their melee weapons. They have some good melee DPS like this and they get some health regen, I think, when they're in combat maybe. Then they've gone back to their ranged weapons. Slaughter lowers the cooldown of the ranged weapons, which increases DPS. Look at that on the Eversor. Drain life and some CSM bolter fire. Hyper metabolism is popped again. Chem Cloud is popped as well. Plague Marines down to a single model, trying to get another shot on the Rhino, and they do. And there's Bio Meltdown. That's going to kill the Plague Marines, and it does. It also kills the Eversor Assassin. So that big death explosion. Chaos Lord is shot and runs away. Bio Meltdown, I think, is like isn't it 175 red these days, or 150? Damages all nearby units. Also damages your Eversor though, and if he dies while under the effect, you get a big explosion. Chaos Dreadnought on the way for Lokyo. I assume getting repairs now, yep. The other fellas are retreating, so they can repair as well, perhaps. Eversor did fall though. Gonna need to spend at least 250 rec to get them back. They've gone tier 3 and they can repurchase if they want to soon. Dreadnought really needs to pull its weight here. Is it going Markov Zinch? It is going Markov Zinch. That should be able to deal with the Rhino pretty well. Was not fully repaired before it came out. I guess because they know the Plague Marines wiped. Noise Marines are just idle here. Not sure what's going on with these fellas. Heretics trying to cap, but we're not allowed to. Middle turns blue. VP is very even, only 30 in it. VP lead for Sergeant Smith. Here we see the Markov Zinch Chaos Dreadnought now with that missile launcher. Look at the damage on rear armor. These guys trying to get into melee. I thought they were trying to get into melee there. Down goes. No, survives. It survives. The Rhino survives. Dreadnought is probably on melee stance now and using that underslung bolter to get some shots in. Is it going to chase it into base? It should, but Lokyo can't see what we can see. So they are indeed chasing. Rhino goes to the left. I think they're going to get it here. Yeah, down goes the Rhino. Did some good work for Sergeant Smith though. They got to tier 3 with it. Sergeant Smith believes they over-invested to take down the Rhino. We'll see. The Dreadnought still has the melee weapon, still has the Frenzied Barrage to attack non-vehicle units. Lokyo doesn't agree. No such thing as overkill when you're a Chaos Lord. Those Marines trying to sonic blast some stuff. Look at that damage there when they're all getting hit. That is pretty nuts. DPS. Are they going to wipe them? They're going to wipe them. Maybe. Oh, maybe not. 2 hit points left on those guys. Sergeant Smith must have just ordered them away, assumed they were fine, and then come to this fight over here. Librarian does inspire on kill, as you saw there. Sanctuary is a pain in the arse ability to play around sometimes. Really nullifies melee threats. Getting some kills as the Dreadnought in melee. Decent chunk of XP already. Smite from the Terminator Librarian. Decent hit. Again, too much Doom Blasting. Those heretics Doom Blasted against retreating units there. Very strange. I don't think the Eversor wants to fight the Chaos Lord 1v1. I don't think so. Maybe with Chem Clouds up they can. Grey Knight Terminators now for Sergeant Smith. The Dreadnought could just get into melee with those fellas and do some work. They only have power melee weapons. Although the Dreadnought doesn't have melee resistance, so needs to be a little bit careful. 292 to 181.
We shall make it so.
Halfway done with the Grey Knight Terminators. They should be able to take mid with them, I think. But we'll see. I can't remember if it's the Grey Knight Terminators that get the Psychon or the Paladins. I think it's the Grey Knight Terminators that get them. And the Paladins get the Incinerator, maybe? Heretic trying to take that power back. 282 to 181. Big push now potentially for Sergeant Smith. Grey Knight Terminators can teleport in maybe and help out. We do have plasma guns up for the Stormtroopers. Is that CSM in the garrison? It is CSM. They got grenaded. There's a frenzied barrage. Sanctuary frustrates the Chaos Lord now. Look at that for area denial. Dreadnought can just march through it. Those guys need to retreat. There we go. Just being used in melee, yep. Going after the Strat Squad, I think. How long that lasts? It's a solid 10 seconds, I think. Grey Knight Terminators are up. They are... Oh, they're getting the silencers. That's right. The silencers, not Psychonins. But they basically perform the same function, I think. Just good damage versus everything, yeah. You have that weird sound effect. 249 to 181. Can they get the triple cap? Maybe. Heretics want to decap that fully matured wreck point there. They don't want to fight Grey Knight Terminators though. That's for sure. Chaos Lord wants to. Eversor comes back mid with basically everything. Chaos Lord goes after him. Doing some good DPS, but taking a lot of DPS as well. Dreadnought helps out in melee. Kill the weak. Hits well. Special attack not useful. Do they have anything to deal with this Dreadnought really? I don't think they do. Oh, they got a melter. They have a melter bomb. That'll do something. Can still attack. And might kill a Terminator soon. Trying to kill a Terminator. It's taking a lot of damage to Dreadnought. Just sheer amount of regular melee and power melee damage seems like it might be enough. Could not kill a Grey Knight Terminator there. It's pretty unlucky and goes down. Lokyo is reeling now. Eversor did go down, chasing something into base there. Looks like hypermetabolism was up, perhaps bio meltdown as well. I think the Eversor is the hero that uses the most globals in their kind of normal play. Lots of hypermetabolism, lots of bio meltdown all the time. Most Marines in trouble now. Once the Strats could have some levels and have the Justicardians run through that. Here comes Chaos Lord. Is he going to fight them? There we go. Couldn't get a model though. Vortimer Razorback for Sergeant Smith. There's tier 3 for Lokyo. They have tons of red. So maybe we'll see some Lightning Claw Terminators. Then it'd have nothing to do with the Vortimer. I think it's tough. It's a tough ask now for Lokyo. The Rhino was well timed. The Dreadnought Terminators were well timed. Judged it well. Just weighed in everything into melee with that Dreadnought. Lokyo should have got it out, I guess. I thought it would do well. I thought it would kill at least one of the Dreadnought Terminators and maybe make them retreat. Overcharge Plasma to suppress those guys. Not over yet though. Lokyo's going to get a 2-1, I think. Maybe? Maybe not. No banishment. Oh, that would have disabled banishment. That's right. Those Marines. Sonic Blaster. Here's your Vortimer Razorback with a Psy Cannon on the back. And couldn't get a cap, but they got a decap. Stormtroopers capping. Those guys have their Acolyte fella now. You gonna run into Heretics? You are. Bloody Heretics indeed. Could not stand there for long. Chaos Lord hits level 3, has the Demonic Visage, which is going to be good in the big melee brawls that might happen. Predator tank it is. Getting it out in decent time, Lokyo here. Should be able to trade very well with the Vortimer. Vortimer only has 650 hit points. They could get Mark of Khorne on their tank or Mark of Tzeentch and trade with it quite well. It's very fast, but the DPS isn't spectacular. It's good, but it's not delivered in big bursts. It's not super high. It's a cool unit though. Blastmaster for the Noise Marines. They're level 3. They deserve a Blastmaster. Whoops! I just smacked the microphone. I'm sure that sounded great. Power Bashir, late game for Sergeant Smith. Tank is on the field, does not have a mark yet. Going around the back for some rear armor. Oh no, the first shot hit an object. That was pretty unlucky. Getting some shots on the infantry now. Strats would have been so solid. Here we see the damage debuff from the Demonic Visage. 25%. Per strike does not stack. It doesn't stack effect. I guess it doesn't stack duration either. Just refreshes maybe. Blastmaster trying to set up under fire because of Mark of Tzeentch. Chaos Space Marines, which will do some really good damage versus Strat Squad and Dreadnought Terminators. Lokyo though is running out of VPs. And he's taking a lot of damage, his tank. Actually trading quite well here. Goes down. Lokyo says, oh. Were they shooting at something else? There's no way. Don't underestimate the Vort, says Sergeant Smith. Apparently I underestimated it. I don't know if they were shooting, if they were trading shots the entire time there. Maybe the Vort got some rear armor hits or something. But Sergeant Smith gets the victory. Single cap right at the end. Concede from Lokyo. The losses just added up. Plague Marine loss, the Dreadnought loss, tank loss. Sergeant Smith only lost the Rhino, I think. And it did a lot of the work before it went down. Lucky to still have 3 Dreadnought Terminators though. That Dreadnought was smacking on that fella for ages and it didn't die. Terminator Librarian got level 3, bloody hell. That Sanctuary is so annoying to deal with. What do we got here on the heroes? Level 6 Eversor Assassin, level 3 Chaos Lord. There you have it guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it and I'll see you next time.